guys, John here for another video. So I've gotten a lot of requests for this particular video. It's called modding your Ralliart. The first mods you should do to your Ralliart, and what I think from my experiences that you should do when first owning a Ralliart. Drive the car. Enjoy the car stock. Just enjoy the car as is and go drive it. Get a feel for how it handles. Get a feel for the power and the torque that it makes stock. Once you progress your skills and your driving ability to be able to handle the car as is, or if you're getting bored with the power output it's making stock, which is kind of lame power, I'm going to admit, but it's not bad. Once you get sick of the power, you go to number two. Number two is bolt-ons. A lot of people ask me if you should run intakes, what kind of exhausts, what can you do to squeeze more horsepower out of your Ralliart. Now I'll put a generalized, just in case you miss it in this video, I'll put a list in of what my suggestions are below this video. But for general guidelines, here's what I think you should do. Get a drop-in filter, number one. Drop-in filters will increase airflow without heat soaking, so you can retain the stock intake box. You can get them from K&N, I think it Works Motorsports, and a few others that make them. They're like $50, and they don't require a tune because it's a stock replacement filter. It's just higher flow, so you're getting, what it does is it leans out your air-to-fuel ratios on the stock tune, which means a little bit more power. So that's number one. The short ram intakes, the only ones available are AEM, which is okay, but it's like $240, and the Ultimate Racing short ram, which is like $150. But the problem with that is, I'll put a picture, it lines up right next to your engine, so you're sucking in all the hot air from your engine bay and basically heat soaking the entire system. And we all know that when you inject hot air into an engine, it reduces power. Colder air is denser and therefore and closer packed together, so it increases power. It's an Evo 10 bypass valve or blow-off valve, whatever you want to put it. These will hold more boost. The Ralliart has a little plastic one that is just not effective. It leaks at around 15 to 20 pounds of boost, and it's just a piece of junk blow-off valve. And you can pick these up for $60 to $100 depending on miles and condition, and it is the best bang for your buck upgrade you can do for your stock Ralliart. Number three, intercooler. Intercooler is probably my number one most needed mods for the Ralliart. If you compare the size of a Ralliart intercooler to an Evo 10 intercooler, the size difference is massive, and here's a picture. But what intercoolers do is they basically take the hot air that your turbocharged just compressed, and it cools it down. It's basically a heat exchanger. It cools the air down, and then it pushes it into the motor. What an intercooler does is it doesn't necessarily increase horsepower. That's a general misconception. I mean, it does kind of increase horsepower in the way it's cooler air getting into the motor, but the biggest thing that the intercooler helps with is heat soak. Heat soak is when you keep putting hot air through the intercooler and it just can't keep up. It'll just start radiating heat. It'll absorb the heat and it won't dissipate fast enough. And this is mostly when you're doing back-to-back pulls, road racing, making more than stock boost levels. When you up the boost, you up heat. That's one major factor to boost. Is the byproduct of boost is heat. When you increase boost, you increase ignition timing and other things usually, and all of that gives off more heat because it's more energy. And what happens when you have heat and higher boost levels and a heat-soaked intercooler is decreased power. You're not taking advantage of those other modifications and increased boost. Even stock boost, stock intercooler, stock turbo, basically stock car, even Ralliarts with stock everything will still get heat-soaked after 2 to 3 pulls. The best bang for your buck upgrade would be in an Evo 10 intercooler and an Evo 10 upper intercooler pipe. You can get either the stock one or an aftermarket one. I'd recommend ETS or AMS. for your intercooler core if you can afford it. If not, an Evo 10 intercooler you can get for $100 off eBay. The other good upgrade for the Ralliart, as I said, it goes along with the intercooler, is the upper intercooler pipe. It replaces the flex section of intercooler pipe that goes across the top of the motor. You'll see it. Under boost, the pipe actually expands and contracts, which means you're losing boost pressure, kind of, and it's just decreasing your response. Your throttle response is decreased. Basically everything is decreased, and so you have this loss of power and throttle response. You can remedy this by getting a solid or a hard upper intercooler pipe. That is a great upgrade for the car, and it's definitely needed. A boost control solenoid. So this is something you can't install until you get a tune. A boost control solenoid is basically your method of boost control. It allows the tuner to fine-tune your boost throughout the power band, and it also can kick up boost to 24 or 25, whatever PSI of boost. It's a great upgrade. You can always go with the Ralliart boost pill from AMS. That's another option, but a 3-port boost control solenoid is recommended by a lot of tuners. And after that, there's not much else that you want to do besides Evo 10 one-step colder spark plugs. Because you're upping boost, when you tune, you want a colder spark. When you run more ignition time, you want a colder spark as well. So you need the one-step colder plugs. That's a must. The only other thing I can really suggest, if you want to go E85, you need a minimum of 1,000cc ejectors and a Walbro 255 LPH fuel pump. Those are the two upgrades that you need for E85. Other than that, for the exhaust system, of course you can do a test pipe, which deletes your catalytic converter, and a catback exhaust, or if you want to keep the stock cat, you can do a catback. Turbobacks are a good option. It lets the turbo breathe a little better, but it's not needed. You might lose a little bit too much back pressure with the stock turbo because it's so small, depending on the boost pressure you run. But the downpipe is good for running wideband AFR gauges. What this does, it allows you to take readings of your air-to-fuel ratio when you're on throttle, off throttle, so you know if you're running lean, rich, and your tuner can fine-tune your AFRs for your needs, and for power and for efficiency. So I recommend getting a wideband and a boost gauge. Those are the two major ones that you do need. The number one most important mod that I think is the most important for your Ralliart, and any forced induction car for that matter, is a tune. The tune is what ties all of it together. It's and this isn't like some off-the-shelf cob access port general tune. This is setting an appointment with a tuning shop like 5150 Racing in Southern California, or Kozmic Motorsports, and what they do is they put your car on a dyno, which reads, it not only reads the horsepower and torque of your car, it also allows the tuner to accurately make adjustments to your car that will maximize horsepower and torque safely. So instead of going out on the road and speeding and having them adjust your car that way, which is definitely unsafe, and it's called street tuning, they strap your car in the dyno, they take it for a few hours, and they maximize your horsepower and torque via tuning things like ignition timing, boost, air-to-fuel ratio, MyVec if it's a new Ralliart. All these different parameters are adjusted and for the mods that you have in the car. Now, a tune is absolutely 100% necessary for any modifications that you do to a car, or else you could be putting your motor in danger, because the mods that you do could lean out your car too much. It could just throw something off. The other point that you can make about tuning is it maximizes the potential of your car. From the factory, your car comes tuned very conservatively. So this means it runs rich. It's not set to kill mode. Basically, it's not going to blow anything up. It's going to be as reliable as possible. And what this means is it's not giving you the maximum horsepower and torque that you so may desire. And what a tuner can do is unlock that hidden potential, and with extra modifications like the boost control solenoid, the drop-in air filter, as well as like injectors and the fuel pump, he could take all of those things and maximize the horsepower and torque. So baseline stock on, I'm talking one Mustang dyno in my area, a Ralliart will make about 190 horsepower to the wheels. With bolt-ons and tuned, as you'll see in this next clip, it made 240 wheel horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. Which is a huge increase, and this is a fairly conservative tune with lower ignition timing and fair amount of boost on pump gas. Now, tuning for E85, you use about 30 to 40% more fuel, but your tuner can adjust the timing tables and boost as well as other parameters to give you more power. So on my E85 tune on the stock turbo on my Ralliart, I made 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. And this is a huge increase. So over stock, you're talking 100 plus horsepower to the wheels, which is an incredible gain. So a tune is the #1 most important aspect of modifying your Ralliart, and I don't suggest you do any modifications, period, besides maybe the drop-in filter and the catback exhaust without getting a tune, because any more than that, it could throw your car off and potentially be dangerous for your motor and your SST. So yeah. Other than that, suspension I'll talk about in a different video, but if you like this video, if you think I forgot something, leave a comment below, subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with more videos. I hope this video was informative, and these are just my opinions. Of course, everyone has their own opinions on things. From my opinion, say my intake didn't do very much, so I wouldn't buy that mod. So these are the best bang for your buck mods in my mind that you can do for your Ralliart. Thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel, and stay cool.